any VTLs to help us at this time frame. There we go. We have some VTLs. By the way, I saw some charts posted on the forum. If you go to Tools, Options, Chart, VTL width relative to 1 bar. I make that 0.3 or 0.2. It gives you much more elegant VTLs. Just a little tip to produce beautiful charts. Okay, so let's look at our VTLs first. Here are our VTLs. Remember, VTLs are based on median price, so we should have a look at the line on median. Okay, and so if median price crosses down below this 10-day or 20-day or 40-day, I think there's a 40-day VTL lurking there. Oh, no, there isn't. If price crosses below those VTLs, then of course we will have confirmation that a peak has been formed in the price. VTLs are dangerous. I had an interesting conversation with John about that. VTLs are dangerous because they're very, very closely based on your phasing analysis. And if there's anything not quite right in your phasing analysis, then your VTLs are going to be completely wrong. So I much prefer using FLDs. And here you can see some interesting FLDs that bear talking about, actually. And let me turn off the FLD pattern. Right, I'd like to quickly talk about these FLDs because the FLDs always tell a story, and there's quite a big story going on here. First of all, very importantly, the 20-week FLD is this FLD. I hope you can see it. That's the 20-week FLD, a green FLD. Price crossed below that. Let me show you median price again. Price crossed below that 20-week FLD. When was it? It was a week ago, just over a week ago, 10 days ago. Price crossed under that FLD over here. Okay. And in fact, Sentient Trader considers this cross over here, then that cross back up again, and then that cross, and it works out the median, the middle actual cross, and so it worked out a true crossing point somewhere over there. I've really made a real hash of that. Let me just show you that again. Price crossed the 20-week FLD 3 times. Okay, it crossed below it over here. It crossed back above it over here, and it crossed back below it over there. Now, when that happens, when there's a slightly messy FLD cross, Sentient Trader takes the median cross position, which is probably about over there, and it generates its projections from that point. But the important thing is that price has crossed the 20-week FLD, which means that this is a peak of at least 20-week significance, at least 20-week significance. Because of the phasing analysis, it must be, I believe, actually at least 18 months. But anyway, that's a really interesting thing that's happened in terms of the FLDs. What's sitting up ahead of us? Well, there's a 10-day FLD, 20-day FLD, 40-day FLD, and they're all lining up, and they're forming a nice cascade pattern. Okay, look at this cascade pattern, where these FLDs are fairly parallel to each other. They're forming a bit of a cascade pattern, and so I'm expecting price to form a peak. And isn't it amazing how the 20-week FLD has moved up to give it room to form a bit of a peak without making that cross any messier. So I'm suspecting that price is going to form a peak somewhere over here and then come down and cross those FLDs on its way down to the next 40-day trough at least. So that's what I'm looking at in terms of gold. That's my discussion on gold. I hope you found it interesting. Any questions? Please fire them. Please fire them at me, both in terms of the analysis in gold or anything else. Oh, yeah. I see. David Preston said audio is coming and going. I hope that the audio has been consistent, and I hope that it has been okay. John, based on that analysis, you will want to buy the pullback from the 80-day peak with a low sometime in November. This is particularly true for investors. I got to run and get the kids from school. Great. Okay. Thanks, John. Let me turn off the FLDs and show you what John was saying there. Okay. So and let me turn on that. That comment from John in the chat window is that we're of course expecting a peak. I think most Hurst analysts are expecting a peak to form sometime probably within the next week to 10 days. Okay, then we're expecting price to move down into a trough towards the end of November, and as John said, probably towards the end of November, and at that point find ourselves a buying opportunity in gold. So we're looking at finding a buying opportunity in perhaps 2-3 weeks' time in gold. Jose, would you please comment your opinion regarding T-bond about doing an inverted analysis? Both peaks and troughs used to be quite sharp, so probably both are correct. I haven't done my homework about it. Okay, Jose. Yes, I'd be happy to. I don't. I'd need to get some data and have a look at that. So let's just do that. It's very easy, very easy getting data through Kinetic. So I'll do that. Let's see if we can find it. I don't. I must say I don't follow the analysis on a personal level for my trading on the T-bond. Right, let's go to Instrument Manager. No audio. Are you hearing me? Is that audio there? Hello, I hope that... Ronnie is hearing me. Okay. I think it's coming and going. I'm really sorry about that. I don't know what to say. Let's hope that the audio keeps going. Jose, just to sort of finish answering your question, shall we have a look at the 30-year T-bond interest rates? Is that what you're? Is that perhaps something you're looking at? Otherwise, if you can give me a symbol, then I can search for a different symbol. In fact, I think I have a bond. I have a 10-year bond future. 30-year US Treasury bond futures. ZB. All right. Let's ZB. Okay. So let me just quickly load up some data. It's a really quick and easy thing to do. New chart, and we want that one. And how many days? Let's be greedy and ask for 10,000 days. Daily. All right. And let's see what Ninja Trader does with that. Did I press the right button? I think I must not have. New chart. ZB. New. I pressed the close button instead of the OK button, which is never a very clever thing to do. I see a question from John C. while we're waiting for this data. A complete beginner. Very interesting in your discussions. That's good to hear. My question relates to cycle length. In the FTSE, I can easily make our continuous 100-day troughs over 1 year. How would you categorize these as extended 80-day troughs, and would these really continue for over 1 year, always the same length? Okay, John, that's a really interesting question, so let me do my best to answer it. Right, that's all we need from Ninja Trader. No, and so let me create a new workspace and new workspace, Ninja Trader. Okay, and let me open up that ZB chart that I've just created. Okay, 40-day. Let's not worry too much about the settings. Let's just turn off trading for now and say OK. All right, there's the ZB chart. All right, and okay, so Jose, let me answer your question first. You're saying that there are synchronized troughs and synchronized peaks. Yes. At first glance, when you look at this chart, you can see immediately there are synchronized peaks and there are synchronized troughs. My first thing that I always do is I perform a normal analysis using synchronized troughs. So let me just quickly do that. 213. John, I'm going to come back to your question. I'm going to get there in a moment. 210. All right, there we go. And so I would immediately perform a normal analysis, and then once the software has performed an analysis, you have a look at it and you see what works. I have a theory, Jose, as a matter of interest, that forex pairs and possibly bonds will alternate between having synchronized troughs and having synchronized peaks. Okay, and that their alternation occurs over a period of about 5 years. So it happens over a period of about the 4.5 year cycle, roughly. So you have periods of synchronized peaks and then periods of synchronized troughs. And but it's a theory that that I haven't necessarily proved yet. So I'd be very happy to discuss it. And let me just save this workspace and and to consider it. But what I do is I perform an analysis. There we go. We've just performed an analysis, and then I have this and see how much sense it makes. By which I mean, where are the troughs? Are they good troughs? Are they making sense? And I must say, with synchronized troughs, it looks to me like